Fireworks for 2021. Yeah, buddy. 2021.
What? Here it is.
In bad. Yeah, man.
Bam. And what a better guest to have.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're starting it off right this year. Hey, everybody. Welcome again to On the Range Podcast. It's a brand new year, premiere of Season 2, Episode 1. Here we are again, Rick. War HOGG Tactical, Kelley Defense, bring you On the Range Podcast, where we talk all things America. How you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing, pal?
Doing well, man. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest, and let's get this bad boy running.
Yeah, so we have Clint Hover with Alpha Group Solutions. Clint is a fellow SF brother, even though he was over in third group. We won't hold that against him, even though his big brother's across the street at seventh group. But no, third group, man. Love those guys. Definitely had some hardships along the way with the way your command wanted to treat you. But, you know, at the end of the day, Clint, here's the deal, man. We're all brothers, and super proud to call you my friend. So yeah, you know, and here's the thing, guys. So Clint's got Alpha Group Solutions. If you are looking for any type of gear, that is the place to go. And I'm sure Clint will fill you in with all the details. So buddy, take it away.
All right. Two-time offender now on the Range.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Now.
That's right.
Two-time offender. So appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you coming back, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I really thanks, guys, for having me back on. Really kind of jumped into a couple of new projects that I'm working on. Something that I did a while back. I know Rick and Mark, we've talked about this before. I ran a company for a while called Black Skull Tactical Applications. Did a lot of firearms training, did some military contract stuff, work with some law enforcement units, stuff like that, similar to what you guys are doing. And, you know, like you guys, every time I was out on the range, everybody was asking me, you know, where did you get that holster? You know, where'd you get that pouch? You know, who sells those pants? So I got that often what I was doing. And I was like, man, you know, I know a lot of these dealers and many of them are veteran owned small businesses. And I really wanted to partner up with those guys and start offering those through my training. And but it just seemed like it got further and further into actually doing the fulfillment and got further away from the firearms training and more into the products fulfillment. So,
Right.
And it's hard, Clint, you know, because, just saying, you know, it's hard when you're trying to double dip almost two businesses, you know, a firearms training company, you know, and then you're trying to sell products on the other side, man, especially as a one-man show. Yeah, it's a butt kicker, man, because you're trying to juggle three different hats, you know, fulfill the orders that are coming in, get those mailed out. Mm-hmm. Plus, you know, trying to market and do everything else you need to do for Black Skull. It's a ton of work, especially when you don't have a crew, man. It is hard. So hats off to you, pal.
Well, luckily, like you guys, you know, behind all of us, we have a great lady that's helping us out. My wife really stepped up. And, you know, as I'm still doing some military contracts and stuff, been gone for the last couple of months out on some contracting stuff. My wife, you know, that circle of trust. You know, the one person that I know's got my back here, you know, she's doing a lot of the fulfillment stuff, the actual hands-on for me. As I'm out meeting and discussing and putting in agreements in place with these veteran-owned small businesses, she's back here and is the one that's really kind of, you know, pull back that curtain and she's pulling the levers, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, she's really stepped up and helped me out a lot as well as I'm kind of relaunching this Alpha Group solution. And, you know, I'm an out of the closet. We discussed this even the last time when I was on the podcast with you. Been doing this a long time like you guys have. And I know gear. I know what guys are looking for. And more than anything, I like working with the other guys that are in this industry that are pumping out great products to these, you know, guys that attend 3-gun tactical games, tactical training, different things that these real meat eaters, these end users that need good quality products. That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
What's
Now,
what's some of the companies that you're part? I'm sorry, Mark.
no,
What's
go
some of
ahead.
the companies you're partnered with? That you have in the gear store.
Yeah, so I just, I'm really excited about introducing, at least within my gear store, is Wilder Tactical. Josh up at Wilder Tactical has some phenomenal products. He's constantly innovating, coming up with new stuff. The great thing is he's also a former 1st Ranger Battalion medic like myself. So that's awesome to be able to work with somebody that closely, that we've walked down a lot of the same paths. He has a lot of the magazine holders, the mag pouches and stuff that he's doing are injection molded, but they're really a cross between a custom Kydex and the very popular high speed gear taco pouches. You get a bungee styled a hard pouch. I was real excited to be able to introduce those into my website, from small arms, the AR platforms. He also has dump pouches and medical pouches, things like that, belts. I started out kind of small. I've got the pouches right now, got the med kits and things like that, but I'm getting ready to start introducing the belts and some of the other products that he has. That's one of the main ones right now. Of course, a mainstay for me was Snake Eater Tactical. Chris up at Snake Eater, he's just making I really like his belts. They're very different than anybody else's on the market, and I like the modularity of it and the levels, because it's basically a 3-piece belt.
Yeah, they make a lot of great stuff. I got one of their dump pouches. A lot of good stuff coming out of Snake Eater.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's, as I've attended a lot of the tactical games, we've had a lot of the guys running these belts, and they like them as much as I do. And, again, for me, somebody that's an avid shooter, I like to go out and train and do my stuff. I see these products and go, wow, get rid of. So, I mean, a lot going through some of this gear, I see the stuff I really, really like. And, well, I tell you, I get a lot of response out of the guys that see me at the events and say, I really like the belt that you got me. And, like Mark and I met down in Meridian, Mississippi at the tactical games.
Yep.
I'm not so sure. I believe, Rick, that was the first time we met as well. So,
no, we met in North Carolina.
Oh, that's correct.
Prior.
That's right. Yep. That's right. We've been at so many of those things now. I mean, we keep crossing paths quite frequently, and thanks again, because I was just up at Fort Bragg and was able to go out and have dinner with you and your family, and I appreciate the invite. So
yeah,
it was great to be able to see you then.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yeah, we also got a chance to see you out there at SHOT Show, run into you and talk some business out there. Too bad that didn't go, this year. But hey, 2020 had a lot of things going on, but we're really hoping that 2021 is going to be a lot different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing, because I keep hearing, I think I was on maybe my 10th or 11th SHOT Show in a row. And
really?
I'm hearing from a lot of people right now. They're just like, whew, I'm kind of glad it was called off this year. I'm surprised that you hear that,
Yeah, but let's be an honest broker, Clint, right? So you go out to SHOT, and that thing is an event. So, we're not out there pulling these stupid trolleys looking to get all this free swag like you've got some of these people out there doing, which, quote unquote, a professional industry event. Why you grabbing 20 pens? Give me a break. But you're sitting there hustling, going from meeting to meeting to meeting. And then, oh, by the way, when you're done, you've got all these after show events going on. And at least for me, and I'm pretty much sure for the rest of the people out there that are professionals in the industry, it's about conducting business. It's about having business meetings. I've got pretty much the entire industry under one roof. If I've done my homework right, I've got my meeting set up, and I'm going from meeting to meeting to meeting. Oh, I might get a chance to look it over here. Hey, what's this new widget? How many times do people ask you, hey, what'd you see at SHOT Show? Nothing. You don't get a chance to go really walk the floor because you're trying to build your business. So, yeah, it's
quite. It is in at least the first two SHOT shows that I attended was for the U.S. Army while I was doing acquisitions for small arms. So, I mean, you know, I got out there, and the first couple times, most everybody that goes to SHOT Show the first times just kind of,
oh man,
almost bewildered. They're just like, my God, it just keeps going on forever, you know?
Yeah.
And until you really get the lay of how, you know, the Sands is set up, all the different ballrooms, the main big rooms, man, I mean, it takes probably 2 or 3 times going out there to where you're not just overwhelmed, you know?
Yeah.
And then you really start strategically looking at SHOT Show. You know, you get your planner, you know, if you do it right, by the end of that 5 days, you feel like sleeping for 5 days.
Dude,
you know?
you're gassed, man. You're gassed because you know, it's not like your meetings are all right there. I might have to go upstairs, downstairs, down in the basement, you know, umpteen booths back.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows how many miles. I need to take a pedometer one time to go, hey, I logged freaking 20 some odd miles day one, just humping back and forth. And,
easy.
You know, because don't forget, you're walking from, you know, you got to get from your hotel room, get over there, and then you might as well hit the clock and go, hey, the race is on. And then try to plan your time to go, hey, I got to go from booth upstairs the main all the way down to the basement somewhere. You know, it's like, oh, here we go.
I tell you what, you get in that basement, sometimes you can lose your bearings very easy in that basement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brutal. There's so many booths down there. Oh man. Yeah.
And like I said, if you've been there enough times, like I said, you kind of know where some people are at. It doesn't move a lot. But what you do is you start finding all the trap doors of how to get places quickly. Man. You know, I can go down this staircase over here and cut over there. And if you're smart, you know, you kind of go through your planner and, hey, I got to start here. I got to get over there. I get over there. And like I said, then you start getting into veteran SHOT Show territory. You kind of know where you're going. You know, you're not just wandering around holding up traffic.
Out with your map going, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
exactly.
And don't forget, I'm going to go back to those guys hauling them trolleys. They hold everything up, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, get your buggy and get it out the way.
Yeah.
You know, you're slowing me down there, pal.
Yeah, it's funny because, I mean, you know, this next, we made it through, you know, from the 19 SHOT Show or whatever, 20 SHOT Show, I should say. And now that, you know, they've called it off for this year, looking at the next year, you know, I'm going to be out there and we'll be doing, you know, Alpha Group Solution out there and seeing the brand partners that I have within my e-commerce. The way that I'm doing my e-commerce, I run mainly everything through my shipping, but I really, really like attending events. And, you know, Rick and I were speaking about some of his events and things that he's doing with you, Mark, you know, where we could be in the same spot and I can come out and set up my display and be able to, you know, sell directly to the end users. That is
too easy. Yeah.
I absolutely love being able to go to these different events, training events, and be able to set up and stand there and talk to people directly, get to know them. So they see the other side of who's on the side of that website, you know, they know, hey, this guy will take care of me.
Yeah. You know, what's really cool too, is a lot of the products are being looked at and picked up by law enforcement. And I know you have an association with a sheriff's department down in Georgia, correct?
It's actually just over the river here in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So you know how Fort Benning's kind of cut in half on one side of Alabama, the other side Georgia. So the sheriff's department that I've worked with is over on the other side of the river.
Yeah, that's a really neat connection too. So all these LEO guys, they need to check out your stuff as well. A lot of good products coming, like you said. So yeah, man. Hopefully 2021 will be good for Alpha Solutions and, you know, Alpha Group Solutions, and we're looking forward to partnering up with you. So, so you know, what do you think? Who do you think the biggest losers and winners are from 2020?
Oh my gosh!
I tell you what. Now that you know, kind of think about it. I know SHOT Show waited to the very last minute to cancel, but I tell you, I never watched it, but I can tell you right now, everybody was talking about that Tiger King. Everybody was talking about that Tiger King. You talk about they got hot, man. That was on Netflix, right? Everybody was talking about it. Everybody. So that was a big time winner, man. He's still locked up though, isn't he? He's locked up.
I couldn't tell you, bro.
Rick, I
don't know.
cannot believe you watched Tiger King, Rick?
I didn't. Nope.
Of any of the things that I get hooked on trying to watch a series, I made it only a little ways into the Tiger King thing. I was just like, what in the hell am I watching here?
Dude was on fire, man. Everybody kept talking about him. Everybody.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you had everyone that decided they're going to cut his head off, Photoshop their head on. And now it's just like, okay, guys.
Yeah. I tell you who was it? What was the baseball team that caught cheating and the whole was that Houston Astros? Was that Houston Astros that got caught cheating?
I know exactly
or
what
whatever
you're
the baseball
talking
team.
about, I'll be darned.
And all of a sudden, and I know I was talking about it.
No, I definitely remember seeing that.
I think it might have been the
I
Astros.
can't remember which team it was.
Yeah, they're a winner because after that, everybody kind of forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
think it was stealing.
Like you said, when you let into the show, I'm definitely interested to see how this year goes.
I think this year's going to be good, man. Because I think here's the deal, Clint.
Mm-hmm.
People are at a point.
I do too.
We have done all that's been asked. Lock yourself in your house. Don't go outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Bide some more time. Didn't work. Wear a mask. That's not working. Now we got the vaccine. Okay. But umpteen, who knows when to get it. Here's the thing. If the governors will just let people run their businesses, economy is going to be booming. There's people that need jobs, people that lost their jobs. There are companies that will never recover from this thing. I get it. And they're probably financially ruined generations down the road. Kids' college funds, I'm sure, have been burnt, with people just trying to get their bit or just keep their businesses going for that duration. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see America step up and go, hey, let's get her rolling. Let's get things up and going. Unfortunately, there are some people that their dreams are gone. Their businesses are lost. Yeah. They're financially ruined. And that's really the shame in all of this, because you had the state governors acting more or less like God, going, well, you're not. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But what are you doing for that guy? Nothing. Here's $600 for your stimulus. Great. I lost that umpteen thousand times because I'm just trying to keep the building open, hoping you'd keep things open. So I think we're at the point where Americans are eager, Americans are hungry, and you're going to see the American economy run wild.
Yeah.
Governors step back, let the leashes off. You know what? Open the states back up. Here in North Carolina, we're on, what's the word? Not lockdown, curfew, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah, we got a curfew as well.
Really? Yeah. So I guess this magical virus from China gets magical powers at night, moonlight driven or something. Dude, open things up, man. All your stuff hasn't worked. Your silly mask, all your this. Run it. That's Rick's opinion. So, let people live their lives. Let them get their lives back and quit penalizing people.
Yeah.
So,
it's bizarre. Watching what's going on. I mean, we get into this discussion, but I mean, I know one good friend of mine, and you probably knew who I'm talking about, Rick. There was a guy that ran a CrossFit gym right up there in Rayford. We went through the Q course together. Great guy, had it 6-7 years, something, was a very profitable business, and they kept shutting him down. He ended up having to close the doors forever. I know there's another guy up there in North Carolina that's a Marsoc guy that runs a gym up there. Another dream, somebody that wanted to go out and start a small business and run this thing, and they just kept shutting it down, but none of the rules make any sense. No. I mean, like you said, I mean, the this thing doesn't go away. And when you, everybody's got to go take a vaccine that's, 99% useful, but, you're 99% able to get over this thing. I mean, they need to open everything back, open up it immediately. Like you said, I think that what you're saying is a very, a good, a positive look on it. Next year is going to be good, this year is going to be good. But man, I'll tell you what, if we can get through this, I'm in Georgia, man, I've had about enough election apps.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't turn any device on in down here without every single thing is about these politicians down here. We can get over this, figure out what's going to exactly happen with the presidential race, and move on. We've got to move on. This is ridiculous. And at least having an e-commerce for me, like I said, I'm still out doing some contracting stuff, but man, having an e-commerce, we all know that all these businesses out here are having problems getting, just shipping, all this stuff. We've talked about it before. If you can't get products, you can't get it to the buyer, So everybody's been, extremely patient. I've still been able to get a lot of products out to people, but we have to stay on it daily, to make sure that people are doing their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the sad part with it, right? Is you shouldn't have to stay on people to do their jobs. You're running a business just like I am. So if Clint goes, if I'm going to run some drop shipping stuff through Clint, man, I shouldn't have to go, Clint, you fulfill the orders. You fulfill the orders. Hey, are you going to answer my call today? I mean, golly, man, if I could tell you the number of people that I've tried to partner with, especially in the nylon manufacturing deal, God, it's like, guys, come on, man. I'm trying to make you money along with me. Let's get this thing rolling. Don't return my phone calls. Don't return the emails. No text. I'm like, okay, so I've wasted time with you. Now I got to try find somebody else. Because like my problem is it's all about minge, right? That's the part that kills you. I don't need to order 5,000 at whack. You're going to basically suck all my working capital in one product. Come on, man.
That's right.
I need to do a couple. And then start getting things going. So that's the thing people got to understand is, I think we've seen obviously the boom in e-commerce. So you're definitely in a niche spot, but it's also, I'm a touchy feely guy too. I like to, kind of see the product. Hey, how does this belt really fit? Is a medium, or is, am I right there at that teeter point? But
that being said, I mean, that's why I really plan on, I've looked at a lot of the events that are going on out for the 2A competitive shooters, things like that. I'm looking at every different avenue that I can get out to events and go meet people in person and do exactly what you're talking about, Rick, which is put a product in your hands, look at it and say, okay, this is what I stand there and talk to somebody that's used it and, know that it's a good product and say, okay, I want these. That's a big part of running this, at least my business model. I like getting out there to the buyer. It's great having an e-commerce, and that's pretty convenient right now. But I mean, big box stores are suffering. These small businesses are suffering, and that's why I really, really like working with the veteran companies to help further their dreams and aspirations of trying to run these companies. So there's a number of them. There's Bees Combat, Snake Eaters, Wilder Tactical. Gosh, I probably have 7 Lead Farmers, Burly Man Tactical. There's a number of them out there that I enjoy working with, and that are just putting great products out on the market. Great holsters, great ammo pouches. Strangely enough, you and I, Rick, we were talking the other day about the e-commerce platforms and stuff, or just web page platforms. I had my provider call me today, which was really nice to be able to talk to somebody directly and help me work out some issues, because let's get into another area here. The Facebook, Instagram, social media that is just absolutely suppressing all of our constitutional rights. It is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible that these people that run these things can stomp out your free expression to be able to make a living.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing, Clint, right? I put it in this perspective. I think we've kind of talked about it. But basically, you look at any of these social platforms, I don't call them social media, they're social marketing.
Yeah.
All these companies, they're advertising agencies. That's what they are. I don't care whether it's Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pick whatever one you want. They are all pushing ads. So in essence, they're an advertising agency. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I get that. But at the same token, when you have this open platform and I cannot, post a picture of a firearm, or here's a better one. I'll even put it this way. So my retired dog, Duco, he is being shadow banded, I fully believe, because of his affiliation with me. So the crazy thing is, he's a 3-legged combat veteran, soft dog. And you're telling me Zuckerberg's going to sit there and shadow ban him? Give me a break, man. That dog is more American than he'll ever be, because here's a guy that gets up in front of Congress. Okay, you want to suppress my business? You don't even know what your business is doing, or so you're saying, as you lie to Congress and go, oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm not familiar. Oh, what kind of CEO are you? You're a lying CEO. That's what you are. And that's the part that that's the part that bothers me. So
like I tried to explain to them today, I was like, they really want me to spend money on marketing, but it's like, if you even put the word tactical on something, if it is a fanny pack, a waist pack, and you put the word tactical on it, they won't touch it.
No. So that's the part that kills me. Is
amazing.
I got it. You're a private platform. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. You're in a power control point where you're controlling information. And this day and age, information is power. So if I can sit there and go, well, Clint's page is better than Rick's page, well, obviously more people will see Clint stuff. But you know what? I don't like Clint because Clint deals with guns or deals with camouflage or something like that. So my personal belief is going to sit there and suppress him. Mm-hmm. That's where I think there needs to be a reining in. Hey, I got it. If you're trying to sell dope on IG or something like that, sure, shut it down. I got you. You're trying to illegally sell guns or whatever else. I get that. Do I understand having a delay in your live feeds? Sure. I get all that stuff. But here's the deal. For the guy that's still a law-abiding citizen, where do you get to pick and choose who you support and who you don't? Mm-hmm. That's my problem with it. And, Zuckerberg right there in front of Congress lied. He lied. And I don't know what the, perjury is. I don't know what the penalty is for perjury to Congress. But man, to me, it should be some silver bracelets, and you're going to go to a little 6x6 cell and think about what you did.
How about, hey, Mark, I got a question for you.
Man.
Being mostly, where Rick falls more on the, soft military side, and although you're a military veteran as well, for Kelley Defense, how do you see that kind of stuff working on your side as being primarily Ellie? And I kind of, is weird because I'm kind of small on the Ellie side, a little bit bigger on the military side, but you're bigger on the law enforcement. How do you see your stuff being accepted?
I think it's just as bad. I think it's just as bad. Yeah.
Really?
And the reason I say that is because I go through, I will have people that have been following me since day one indicate to me, hey man, how come you haven't posted anything? Mm-hmm. Like, hey man, what are you talking about? I post stuff every day, 2 or 3 times a day. I'm not seeing it. Yep. And then I go through my stuff and I notice that he's not even following me anymore. Mm-hmm. He didn't even know it. And this was a guy that's been supporting Kelley Defense from the get-go. Happens all the time. And I'll be honest with you, I've been at the same level of followers for months. Not even varying by 1.
Yeah.
I'll lose 10 and then I'll gain 5 back. And that's just because people are realizing that for some reason they're not following me anymore. And then they follow me back. But now I'm down 5. So I'm starting 5, behind. And, we try to mix up the platforms, and kind of on the same front. This podcast, which in my opinion podcasts in 2020 are probably, they're huge winners.
Mm-hmm.
The podcasts have exploded. They are super popular. Everybody wants to have a podcast, and I love it. I think the more the merrier, man. And the podcast for Rick and I has really been a godsend, because now not only do, Rick and I, being damn near lifelong friends, we've known each other for over 30 years, we get to put eyes on each other every week, hey, how's it going, man? And just have fun with it. But it has been a way for us to continue to talk about things that we feel are important, things that we're going to get out there for folks to think about to get better. There's we've talked about this before. There are a ton of new gun owners out there. We want them to be safe, responsible gun owners, talk about the importance of training and all that stuff. And really, we've been very lucky to start this podcast. And I think, with the popularity of it, we have a ton of views and almost no followers.
Yeah.
I don't get it. We have thousands of downloads on our audio podcast, thousands, and hardly any followers, even though we have a lot of views. It's, we had Tim Kennedy on the show, same deal. It's mathematically impossible for you not to have that many views and it be the same number of people in a 2-day span. It just can't be. But yet that's the way it's going. So unfortunately, the law enforcement, had a target on its back as far as an entity, not individual. Most people like policemen and stuff like that, but as a whole, it had a target on its back, and there was some support out there. But I see a lot of that going on. The hashtags don't work. The boosting stuff like that doesn't work. Trying to follow all these. Go onto these other popular sites and follow them and try to get followers from that and interact. I mean, Rick and I don't know, you do as well, Clint. We interact with our pages a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. Like when Duco got sick, I had 1,000+ different messages on different platforms. And I think I got to them all because I just didn't want to sit there and slap out a like, hey man, at least thank you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for whatever. And the part that kills me is when you're looking at this, I have pretty much stayed away. I don't think I've posted a gun picture probably for about a month, ever since Duke got diagnosed with cancer, right? It's been pretty much focused on him. And you know what? I'm still being hammered. So you try to throw the algorithm, I don't know, a curveball for whatever. I'm like, screw it, man. I'm going back to what I know. And granted, I'll still put, Duke on there and give people updates. But you know what? Here's the thing. I don't really, yes, I care about the numbers because I'm trying to market to people. And obviously, the more people that follow you, the more people are going to understand, hey, here's my class listing. Here's this, here's that. I get it. But what I can't control is the behind the scenes. So what we're going to do, at least for War HOGG Tactical, is you're going to see a lot more push to drive people to my website because that's organic. Sign up for my email list, because I'm going to try to pump out, that's going to be my new thing for 2021. I really haven't done, a big email push because, again, you're trying to slap all this stuff. You're trying to do content for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube, for all this stuff. You know what? I think personally I'm missing the mark. I need to grow how many people are following, War HOGG Tactical, how many people go to warhogg.com, sign up for the email list. And you know what? Those are the people I'm going to direct with. Those are probably my customer base. Hey, share this email. Somebody that's a new gun owner and we're going to be, that section of the country, come out and train, sign up, do whatever. But trying to rely on these fake advertising agencies that think they are somehow sitting in a God position because they control information flow. I'm sorry, man. I'm still going to do it because that's still a way to market and get the word out. But I got zero faith in them. And when you have zero faith, it is what it is, because they could sit there and yank me tomorrow. And I've told people,
the thing about that is being multifaceted. And that's, when you're out training class or doing training classes, when you're attending SHOT Show, you're going to events, you have multiple ways to get out and meet people. And that's at least with me with e-commerce. And I've seen I'm kind of going a little bit back into almost, I've been hit up a little bit about the firearms training again, because like you mentioned, there's so many new firearms owners out there, and they're really wanting to learn from somebody that has, you know, a good pedigree, you know, in a background of using firearms. So I was very happy. A good friend of mine, I'm sure you know who he is, Jeff Struker, somebody I deeply respect here in the Fort Benning area, hit me up about going out and doing a fun shoot corporate thing with ministry. And I was going to go out there and go attend that and run some firearms training. There's just so much diversity out there that you can get into with these different groups to grow these businesses, like you're saying, Rick. But we understand that we're not going to put all our chips on one social media marketing. It's getting out there and meeting people and running those great training classes for both you and Mark, you know, doing the same thing.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is, I think, you know, for us, we need to start realizing, drive people organically back to, you know, the websites, sign up for the email lists. Hey, you want to know what's going on? You know, I'm going to start pushing. Hey, here's what's up. You know, whether I stick a new video on YouTube or something, hey, here's the link. Pass the word. And really, those are the people, you know, somebody's going to take the time, type in their, you know, their email. And like I said, if you're out there listening, watching, I got it. I apologize. I've collected umpteen gazillion emails. You know what? I haven't done my due diligence. Again, part of it's figuring stuff out. So you think that social is the way to go because, you know, at first glance, it looks like it's pretty good. But then all of a sudden, you know, it's really not. So I think that across the board, you know, websites is the driving factor. So if we can get people to, you know, either, you know, warhog.com, either Kelley Defense, you know, Alpha Group Solutions, whatever the case may be. And really, you need to articulate your website because it's solutions with an S.
No S.
Or solution. I'm sorry. It's S.
That's all right.
It's the solutions that I think is a bigger company that kind of comes up in the search engine first.
And Mark, it was strange that I was one letter off from another company, but you know, either way, that's really the whole idea of the thing, was bringing this alpha group, you know, group of companies owned by veterans that I run this e-commerce based off of these other veterans. So, I mean, these are the products that I wanted to go out and promote. And I'll tell you, between you and Mark, I really, really appreciate you guys coming in and helping me out by helping me get the word out on what I'm doing, you know, so
but
it's much appreciated.
No, absolutely, Clint. But that's what we do, right? So when you look at the veteran community, when the power of veterans that come together, because here's the thing, once you kind of, you know, take these blinders off and go, Clint's not a threat, Clint's a brother. How can I help him? That's what people have to understand. Even in the firearms industry, there is enough work for everybody. So there doesn't need to be all this throat cutting, all this bad mouthing. You know what? If instructor X wants to teach something wazoo, good on you, pal. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and bash you.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, I'm teaching from experience of combat. This is what works both day and night. We're not doing dual type systems. That's just Rick's philosophy.
Yeah.
How to be efficient, because again, at the end of the day, it's about either defending yourself or your family members.
Yeah.
And God forbid, man, you know, somebody has to do it. I want them to have the skill, not show up day one and go, oh, what do I do now? Where's my gun loaded? No, give them the skill so that, you know, there's no issues, dramas. And trust me, there's plenty of work for everybody, just like with, you know, in the gear line. You know, I think competition breeds excellence, because think about it, especially if you're manufacturing gear, man, how can I get a little better? How can I get a little better? Oh, so-and-so has got this. Don't copy his stuff. Figure out how to make a better mousetrap. You know, I got it. Let's use the sling, for example. There's umpteen thousand slings out there. Okay. Do you got a better mousetrap? If you don't, quit ripping somebody else off and, either direct your effort somewhere else or just, direct them, hey, buy that sling and, oh, watch this. I'm going to be the best mag pouch builder, holster designer, vest builder, whatever the case may be, and focus on that. So,
yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about this country. You have the choice. You can go buy this product, go see this instructor, take training from this gentleman. There's a lot of different options. And that's, like I said, the one thing about, at least getting to know you guys as I have over the couple of years, you're very, very supportive of the veteran community, and there's not a lot of throat cutting. It's like, hey, we're going to take care of this guy. He's taking care of me. And that's the way we should be with all veteran owned businesses. We have to look out for each other.
Yeah, man.
Mark, glad you're back.
Yeah, man. Had a little power outage at the hacienda here, but it looks like you guys were in there the whole time.
Oh yeah, pay your bills,
dude. I thought 20. Yeah, exactly. I had to jump on the website and pay the bill real quick. Hey guys, if you're just now joining us, make sure you hammer those like buttons, get those subscribe buttons, and make sure you check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere you can listen to an audio podcast at On the Range Podcast. Make sure you check out Rick at warhog.com and check myself out at kelleydefense.com. All of Clint's info we're going to put in the show notes, so we'll make sure everybody can get to Clint's info and buy some badass swag from him. Hey Clint, I know you mentioned you were trying to get to some of these locations to set up a table and get these great things in these guys' hands. What's the next one you're going to?
Well, I've actually kind of kept my schedule a little bit clear for right now because of military contracts coming up that I'm looking at doing, and I'm not so sure that the span of it. But a lot of these places that I'm going to, there's a lot of military units, so I'm out there talking to guys. I'm handing out cards, and I'm seeing people, on these military bases as well. So I will be looking at different dates. Anything that I do with Alpha Group Solution, I'll make sure I post it up on my social media. And I know you guys, like you do, will, I'll reach out to you and have you, throw it out in front of you guys as viewers as well. And like I said, try to really get out there and meet some people, because this is a whole new thing. I like the new concept, the new name, the new products that I have. And, I really appreciate you guys again helping me out. When I was up and able to see Rick up at Fort Bragg, got to stop by and see Duco as well. I'm really glad that the Duco's doing well. I know that was something pretty big for Rick to have to go through, and he was, that dog, he's an incredible dog. He's just, I really enjoyed hanging out with him for a little bit. He's doing really, really well. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Looks awesome, man. Looks awesome.
Yeah. He's coming along. So, super happy with that one. But on that, Clint, the Traveling Roadshow. So we're going to have, the whole free Ellie events. Obviously, you're going to be a big push for 2021.
Yeah.
So if I've got anybody from, within the industry that's, wants to jump on board, help out, interested, whatever, shoot me a note. Whether you send me an email, which you can get on the website, or IG or whatever, I'll get an answer back to you. But really, that's kind of, we're still going to do the open enrollment stuff. But really, I want to try to focus on my Ellie guys. And even to the point of, I'm reaching out to ammo companies. I've got kind of one on the hook, just where guys can reach out, hey, if they need ammo, because the problem is you've got some of these departments, man, they're sitting on thousands of rounds, and they don't want to support a guy going out to free training and give him ammo. I've seen everything from 0 to 100. So I've seen where it's, hey, I've got to take vacation time and buy my own bullets to train. Okay, that's crazy. I've seen it where a department charged them half. So you're going to take the bullets and not train with us, train with somebody else. You got to pay us half for that. And then I've seen it where, departments are full Monty. Hey, man, it's a 400 round course of fire. Take 800. So it's ridiculous. But the point is, help these guys out. They are out there in a very dangerous world, and in my opinion, undertrained. Let's get them at least a one-day type skill set, change their view on how they look at things, give them some solid marksmanship training that God forbid they ever have to use it, man, they've got the skill, because I want each and every one to come home at night. And that's at least, everyone we touch, it's like, hey, man, here's a skill set, because you're in a job that'll kill you and you have to be prepared for it. And then, oh, by the way, at least from my standpoint, I tell every single LEO, whether we're doing an LEO specific class or even my open enrollment stuff, hey, man, if you're ever involved in a shooting, let me review your stuff. If it's a good shoot, I'm happy with it. I'll expert witness for you. I will stand behind you, because, these chiefs won't. They'll throw these guys out to the wolves. And God forbid it ever gets to a point where they've got to go to court. Dude, I'll stand up there. I'll articulate for these guys. Why? Because they're out there serving us as Americans. You know what? This is my way to give back to them, to try to give them a little bit of insurance that I got it. Your department may not support you. The public may not support you. You know what? I do. I support you. So reach out to me. I'm there for you. So
yeah, we did discuss briefly trying to do a War HOGG Kelley Defense something down here around the Fort Benning area. We've got a couple of ranges down here. As soon as we, like I said, we're just coming off of the holiday season. I don't know what it is. We get into the holiday season, it doesn't seem like anything's moving. So, I mean, we're just getting into the new year. We're going to see what's going to happen here with this election. And then I know you did ask me about what am I going to be doing. I would love to be partnering up with you guys and maybe bringing you guys here to the Fort Benning area as well. Yeah.
And you'll fully have our schedule. Hey, if it fits for you, Clint, you want to jump in the truck, load up the trailer, get some goodies in front of guys, roll on out. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. Versus the old classic brick and mortar Clint's the pickup and trailer. So I love it, man.
Oh yeah. You put some miles on that last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a serious gypsy wagon, man. I'm telling you, I got it all.
Oh man, you got some great photos too out there that last year, man. That was how many times did you drive across the country last year? Just the one time?
Jeez, man.
No, a couple times.
Three or
oh my gosh.
4.
Yeah, because you started the year out driving out to Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was a long drive. and I'm kidding you not. I'm telling you.
Oh.
If anybody knows this COVID thing, I'm telling you, I got something on my way out there or way back. I don't know what it was, but I was hurting coming back. Well, I've had the SHOT Show crud. I know what it is.
Yeah.
But this thing was epic.
Yeah.
So when I got back from Vegas this last year, I drove. I literally stopped at a place in Kingman, Arizona, man. And I was like, "Give me antibiotics. I want the best thing you got," because I was hurting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
how many people live in that town? How many people live in that town?
God, Maddie, that was
5.
terrible.
Oh man.
Where is Kingman?
Where is Kingman?
Just after you get right into Arizona there. I mean, you're leaving out by Hoover Dam. Boom, you're in Arizona. It's right there driving over the border, man. I stopped at one of them little, urgent care places, and I drugged myself in there. I was like, this is no joke.
Yeah.
I'm here to give you all the COVID.
It's funny, man, because that is such a miserable drive anyway. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got, I can't divulge it all right now. I will very soon. There's something that one of the second trips that I took across the United States was for something pretty special. And we should be knowing that here in the spring. I wished I could talk about it right now, but I can't divulge anything until here in the spring. So
keep people on the hook, man. I like it.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be pretty big, and I'll be releasing information on that. And then it had to do with the gear store, so that'll be pretty epic. So I'm excited to be able to release that here fairly soon.
Cool.
Yeah. Good man.
So yeah, I made at least probably 4 trips across the United States back and forth, and I like driving, but man, I topped out last year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Were you pulling the trailer each time?
2 times I did.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes life a little more interesting.
But that's all right, man. Got lots of friends across the United States, and get to stop in different places and see people. boy, was making my way through St. Louis, and I got to stop at least for the first time to see the tactical shit store. So stopped in to see them guys. It was pretty interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were in St. Louis last year, and first time I'd ever been there. I'd driven through it once, but yeah. Wasn't nothing open, man. Wasn't nothing open.
No, nothing was open, but we had nice accommodations because we could basically right out our hotel window, we could see the arch.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
It's going to be a busy year. I know it's going to be a busy year. It'll be a busy year for you guys. I know, now that I've gotten all my growing pains done with the beginnings of my gear store, or at least completely reframing it, it's going to be a good year no matter what. Like I said, we're positive guys. We're going to move forward and make it happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Last year, Rick and I have talked about it. The podcast has helped us keep productive. But I got to run into you again, Clint, at the SHOT, and we did some business. And man, I have to say, and I think we all three of us agree, it can always get worse. Rick, you went through something. Our family went through something. It can always get worse. So I'm thankful for a lot of 2020. Working with you guys and being on this podcast and such. But yeah, man, I think 2021 is going to be great. Looking forward to working with both of you guys. Rick and I has always got something going on. It'd be awesome to have you come up, Clint. Hey man, Rick will tell you, we got plenty of room in our houses. We got plenty of room. Plenty of room. Yeah, man.
I'll pop up too, man. I just don't know where I'm going to be blowing through sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you hit me up. Was it day of? Hey, I'm in town. I'm picking up hats or doing something. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, man.
Right, come on by.
Yeah.
That works providing I'm here. It'd be kind of crappy to sit there going, hey, I'm in town. I'll be like, cool, I'm out and who knows where. So
hey man,
but
we're all used to quick warning orders.
Oh yeah. Just the crappy part is sometimes when you're not around, it's just like, all right. But no, Mark, I think you bring up a good point, man. I think it's important for the viewers, listeners to understand that positive attitude that has got to be, because I'm seeing a slow decline across America. Man, people forget, and for those of us, I'll give you a prime example. So if you look at wrong finger, if you look at my little sign there, right? So I got little reminders here. Some of us grew up during the Cold War. Remember, the Soviets is our enemy. China's still a communist country. People forget, that's the sign that was at Checkpoint Charlie at West Berlin going into East Berlin.
And that sign right there was?
It's not the original. It's a replica.
Okay.
Now, if you want an original, I can go. I've got one of the original East German border markers.
Wow.
The only thing that's a little bit metal, and I don't know if I can get it up there, but I'd like to get it up there as well. But my point being, between that and wrong finger, I can figure it out. And my Constitution. People forget, man, we live in the greatest country in the world. Opportunity is what you make of it. If you're sitting there looking for a handout, sorry, man, it's not there for you. You've got to make your way. Now, I got it. We've had some people crushed because, certain regulations, certain people think they've got the power of God, and they're going to say, well, you can't be open. You can be open. Okay, I got it. If you're in a recoverable state, get your head up, get your shoes on, and move forward.
Yeah.
I got it. There's some people financially crushed. Kids will never go to college probably because they've sucked all the money. There's just horror stories out there, but you're still going to see those people dust themselves off, and they're going to start probably from square one again, start building. And I think really, if people take nothing else away, all right, here's the deal. Don't let this rubbish get in your head. Don't believe the crap that's out there. Don't believe what the magic box is telling you or giving you information. Draw your own conclusions. Do some research on your own. Read a book, get smart, go to the library, use the card catalog, which probably nobody knows what that is. So I've just dated myself. That's all right. No different than the Cold War. But there's something to be said, in my opinion, of thinking that I can grab my phone, go to Google, get the magic answer. Okay, cool. Google's telling me one thing, or somebody's telling me one thing. I'm going to back it up. Is this true or not? And do some fact checking. And you know what? Brush yourself off, guys. Get your chins up and move forward and do what we do as Americans. And we always overcome whatever issues, dramas are out there. So
it's a good point. And I mean, I don't know anything else. That's just throughout my life, no matter what I've been doing, you know, you get knocked down, you get back up, you know. You know, it doesn't make any difference to me. Every single day I get up, I'm happy to be, you know, above ground. You know, I cherish what has been given to me and take advantage of it every single day. You know, I mean, the fact that I could start, you know, have a company, start up another company and keep moving on and doing what I'm doing and get to hang out with the people that I serve this country with, that it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, you know, I've put on a mask when I had to put on a mask, you know, when I absolutely had to do it. But other than that, this thing hasn't even really, it's bothered a lot of people. It's damaged a lot of people's lives. But I'm telling you what, I've been moving through this thing like I was on afterburners.
Yeah.
Well, look at it, but you hit the key point, right? How many people, and I get it, some people absolutely got crushed by it. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not downplaying them.
Yeah, no.
But how many people accelerated their business? How many e-commerce businesses took off? Look at us.
Yeah.
You know, Mark hit me up, I think when this thing first started. Hey, man, you want to do a podcast? What do we know about a podcast? Nothing. What do you do? Figure it out. And mainly it was Mark that was figuring the stuff out. I mean, we went from doing some hokey recording on a phone. If you listen to our first one, pre-jump, I mean, you'd be like, hey, this is rookie hour. To here we are doing a live stream, 3 different platforms, you know, microphones, guests.
Great guests.
Yeah. You know, it can be done, people. Don't buy the hype. Don't buy this crap that you're rubbish because you're American. You think I got that flag back there for nothing? Nope. I'm proud to call myself an American. And don't disgrace my buddies that have died for that things, your buddies that have died for things, your buddies, Mark, that have died for that. That is our sign, our symbol of who we are. And people don't forget that. Blood has been shed to carry the title American. Be proud. And oh, by the way, live your life in honor of those guys to go, how am I going to get myself better? 1% better each day. Just a little bit. That I'm not asking you to sit there and hey, you know what? I can't even walk out the front door. That's cool. Walk out the front door, go 3 steps. Next thing you go, 6 steps. Do something for yourself. Quit this pitter-patty rubbish. Quit listening to freaking, take your phones and dump them in the trash. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do any of this crap, but I got to market. So, because all they're doing is pumping you full of propaganda.
You know, the interesting thing about a lot of that too, Rick, you make a great point, is the only way that any of these folks who have the absolute right to do what they do and hate this country as passionately as they do is because they live in this country.
Yep.
All 3 of us know we've been places where you wouldn't be able to do any of that.
Yeah.
You'd be gone. You would be gone.
People complain, right? People are so freaking ignorant. When they look at that little tag that says made in China, okay, it's a communist country. That country controls what information those people get. Now, granted, they're the biggest thieves of IP technology in the world, okay? But they have an iron fist on the amount of information that is controlled. So if you correlate back to where we're at today, information is power. And we're seeing it here unbeknownst. You got these big tech companies, they're controlling what can get put out. Oh, we don't like guns? We're not going to, put things out about guns. People, so grab your bootstraps, be proud to call yourself an American. Go figure out what your purpose is in life and make it happen. So
I caught something, Rick, on the news the other day. It kind of just blew me away. Some billionaire over there in China, was saying something. And this guy had a lot of money. He was able to do what he wanted to do, but he said something against the government, and the guy disappeared. They can't find him. This guy's been gone for 2 months, man. They summoned him to talk to him. They took his company away. They cut it up, did whatever they were going to do to it. He don't have a company anymore, and they can't find him anymore. It's amazing what you can get on a podcast or on your social media or whatever and still get away with saying here, because we still have some rights. And people got, I tell you what, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm waiting for a call to come down right now on a contract that I may have to go out on for a short bit, I was seriously thinking about getting in the truck and going up to DC for this march. because you've got to get out there and fight for these rights. I mean, I can't believe that we're on the cusp of all of our branches of government being ran by one party. This is terrifying.
Yeah.
And that we could get even close to where China is at.
And that's what people don't get. Those of us that lived during the Cold War, those of us that understand what communism is, okay? So it's funny because you look at the parallels. Toilet paper shortage, right? During this whole China virus deal.
Yeah.
People go Google, Soviet toilet paper shortage. You'll see these cats in Moscow standing umpteen hundred deep to get a roll of toilet paper. That's the world you want to live in. I don't. I want to be able to say what I want, do what I want. And oh, by the way, make my business as successful or a failure as I want. Now, granted, I've got some people that, are trying to manipulate. I got it. We'll work around it. Sign up for the newsletter, warhog.com. We'll send you direct information. We'll forget all these other cats. But at the end of the day, people need to sit there and have some pride in that title American. Yeah. All of us have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It doesn't nullify or cut away once you get that discharge. To me, it's a lifelong commitment. I raised that hand up God knows how many different times over 29 years. I will still support and defend the Constitution of the United States. It's not a living, breathing document. It's not flexible. Man, you look at our founding fathers. These guys were geniuses. And if nobody, if they go, what do you know? Check it out, guys. Whenever this thing clears up, take a trip to England. You don't think those cats are oppressed? 20% VAT tax across the board on everything. You want to talk about taxation without representation? Boom, there you go. Just take a look at all the things in place over there that still go on today. And then, granted, still a democratic society, but you still see, you got to understand your history. And I think that's the biggest thing people forget is once you understand history, boom, all this stuff makes sense. So go read a book.
As I'm sure you guys do, I take a lot of pride in the fact that my DD 214 says that I can be recalled at any time. You're able to serve your country for 25 years honorably, and you're still be subject to recall, and I would go back in a minute if they needed me.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
yeah,
it definitely, like you said, it's a lifelong commitment. It's a commitment from me to you guys, for you guys to, run your podcasts, run your businesses, me run my business. And we definitely take a lot of pride in that. And you keep your head into the wind and keep making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And support each other, man. That's the deal at the end of the day, is we all support each other. So everyone's successful.
Sure. Well, we appreciated you being on again, Clint. It was a lot of fun, man. We like to go back and forth on your social media about some of the nonsense that we talk about sometimes with the old TV shows and stuff like that. We just love that stuff. Why don't you let everybody know what's the best way to get a hold of you and see what you got going on right now?
So, if you're looking for some shooting gear, tactical gear, anything like that, you can look me up at just, alphagroupsolution.com. Easy to find. All my contact information's there on my website. And like I said, anything with military law enforcement units, I jump at a chance to be able to work and support that. And then the individual 2A patriotic American, we're definitely a place for you. So even though these big tech places are trying to silence us and keep us quiet, you can always find our gear or find your gear at our website.
Awesome.
And sign up for Clint's email list. That way he'll send. Are you doing email blasts?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I sent one out.
You sent one out today, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yep. Got one out today, man.
Am I not signed up?
Oh, you've been blacklisted.
Oh, that's it. Shadow ban.
Oh man, you're on the list.
Oh, man.
We're all on lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get old I Spy going on.
Yeah. Proud to be on the list.
It is
Well,
what it is.
we'll sidebar with you, Clint. We got something coming up, Rick and I do in the Midwest, so we'll talk about that, see what we got going on. We're still finalizing some things on that. So, like I said, thanks for being here, everybody that's out there. Man, go out to the Alpha Group Solutions.com, check him out. He's got a good social media, a lot of great pictures that Rick and I like to forward, but jump on those and start following him as well. So, appreciate you being here again, Clint. Rick. Yeah. You going to leave us with any parting words? Anything good going on now? Duco's back. You guys got back yesterday.
Yep.
So
round 2 of chemo is complete. Still under the weather a little bit. He looked strong coming out of the hospital, but man, got home last night, got sick. So yeah, that basically rubbish in his body is kind of kicking his butt a little bit. Just kind of chilled out today. Hopefully, probably tomorrow or the next day, he should kind of be, at least back to a norm. But no, man, Duke's doing good. Here's my thing. Parting words, right, wrong, or indifferent. We are all Americans. Make yourself 1% better each day and be proud to carry that title American. And oh, by the way, help somebody else out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Help the old lady across the street. Help somebody carry some bag. Be a good person.
Yeah. Don't be a weenie. There's plenty of weenies out there. Be a good guy. Jeez.
That's it.
It's easy to be a weenie.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
All right, guys, everybody for joining us. Thanks again, man. Make sure you check us out at Facebook, YouTube, IG, at On the Range Podcast, warhog.com, War HOGG Tactical, Kelley Defense. So thanks again, Clint. We're definitely going to have you back on, man. And we'll be pushing out all your stuff on social media as soon as you get the updates on this thing coming in the spring. So really appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for being here, pal.
Thanks, Clint.
All right. See you, buddy.
Guys. Appreciate it, man.
All right,
buddy. All right, man.
Yeah, buddy.